He is equipped with a 20-year experience as a U.S. Army. Desmont Upchurch, the St. Joseph County Auditor, has announced his interest in running for the Mayoral South Bend elections this year. And he has visited Kenya, and we are in the season of having him in our #1 show, Urban Settler Live, only on Agape Love TV. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How best can you describe Desmond?
I would say that Desmond is a hard worker, um, loves his family, loves his children, and loves the work of trying to be a leader for our community. This is a hard road to harvest,
Yeah.
trying to grow individuals within my city and trying to create a pathway for individuals in my city and the African diaspora.
Where was Desmond Upchurch born and bred?
So I was born in Durham, North Carolina, within the United States. Um, had some challenges growing up,
Yeah.
but as I grew, started to understand that I had a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
So decided to join the United States Army. I joined the Army, which then led me to South Bend, Indiana.
Let's talk about your growing up and your childhood.
Yes,
How was it?
my childhood was tough. Um, we didn't have a lot of resources, and but my mother did everything in her power to be able to um, um, try to provide the best possible opportunities for me.
Yeah.
So, uh, but we didn't have a lot to start with. But we had a lot of hope, and we had a lot of there was a lot of love. So um, it allowed me the possibility to dream even further.
How is your family? Tell us about your family.
So I have one beautiful wife, right? Uh, and we met in Norfolk, Virginia,
Oh, well.
before we moved to South Bend, Indiana. We have uh, a a blended family of 6.
Congratulations.
Yes, and then we have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, nice.
Right, right. So, um, but we are a loving family, large in stature,
Mm.
um, but they are the reason I do the things that I do today.
What brings you to Africa, precisely Nairobi, Kenya?
So I was invited by Pastor George.
Yes.
Pastor George had the privilege of being invited to America
Yeah.
by Miles Lucas.
Yes.
Um, and Miles introduced me and Pastor George. Pastor George kept in contact with me,
Yeah.
and then asked me would I ever come to Nairobi. And I said if I was invited, I would come. He wanted to show me um, um, some of the things he was working on.
Yeah.
So once he sent the invitation, my wife and I was excited to take this opportunity to come to Nairobi. It was our first time in the continent and definitely our first time in East Africa. So, um, and it has been a joy to be here. Yes.
What's the first agenda are you looking forward to accomplish right here in Kenya?
So my agenda is to create a pathway so that individuals in South Bend, Indiana can get the experience of coming to East Africa. And if we can create that pathway so that um, we can educate each other about the African diaspora, I believe it would enhance some of the activities that goes on in South Bend, as well as encourage individuals here in Nairobi.
What comes in your mind when you hear the name South Bend?
Uh, Opportunity, right? South Bend is an amazing city. We have our challenges like any other city. However, South Bend has this aura of greatness that, um, with proper leadership, proper guidance, would um, could be the apex of the United States. Right? There's high hope for South Bend, and I love South Bend. So I think that the value that I could bring to South Bend, we could make South Bend a better place.
Now that you are running for the mayoral elections in South Bend, what's your vision for South Bend?
So my vision for South Bend is to become the grounds of what the United States could envision. Um, South Bend, we hope to be a place where we can create new ideas so that the United States can take um, a look at and model the United States after what we will have accomplished in South Bend. Um, there is the first agenda is to um, work together with the individuals in South Bend and create a a idea that working together is the best for all citizens of South Bend.
What are some of the CSR projects have you been working, which maybe may contribute to you capturing this mayoral seat?
Pardon me. Could you repeat that question?
What are some of the community social responsibility projects
Yes.
have you been involved in, which maybe may contribute to your seat?
So one of the community projects we have is I have the Upchurch Family Foundation, and what we're trying to do is mentor youth so that they become leaders in their community. And I believe becoming leaders in your community, you have to have a wide range of ideas and experiences. So um, I've been a part of a program called SAVE as well, which is Stand Against Violence Every Day. And I've had the pleasure of seeing what violence is causing in our city. Um, with my foundation, I hope to one partner with Pastor George here in Nairobi, Kenya, to take some of these same youth and have them have the African experience so that they can see some of the issues here and hopefully it could um, broaden the horizon of what we have going on in the United States.
Why did you choose to go on a Republican ticket?
So I believe that the Republican ticket in South Bend was the ideal party. Um, when you looked at the platform fit, fits what my ideology would be. As and the Democratic platform left me behind. Um, when we start talking about marriage between a man and a woman, I'm in that type of marriage.
Yes.
And so to stand up for that type of marriage, um, you have to take a hard stand. Nothing against individuals who choose to think otherwise. However, um, I want to be a part of a group that fights for my ideologies.
There is this issue of homelessness in that state.
Yes.
How are you going to handle it?
That is a tough question,
Yes.
right? So homelessness is a huge problem in South Bend, um, and we have to come together to give um, real policies and make a real fight towards trying to solve that problem. It is by far not a new problem. However, I think we're using the same old techniques, and I believe we need to find new solutions. And that is going to come with a community aspect as well as state policies and federal policies.
How do you think that that issue of housing, how has it affected the normal residents there?
So, residents, so a lot of people like to use the term affordable housing.
Yes.
Um, and I believe residents want quality housing. Now, it is very different for the two, um, because the difference between affordable, we could always say is this price or this price. But regardless of the price, I
Yeah.
believe quality housing is necessary. When you have landlords in our city who don't give quality housing, but yet want quality income for those housing,
Yeah.
I think we're doing a disservice to the citizens. So we have to hold landlords accountable, as well as a city, create better housing so that our citizens feel better about where they live.
You are watching Urban Settler Live, and as we come back, my guest Desmont Upchurch will be handling the issue of mental illnesses and mental issues. This is Urban Settler Live. Stay tuned.